it's Tara here. Today we're going to make black bean veggie burgers. So what you do is start with a can of black beans, and because they have a lot of sodium, give them a good rinsing action, about 30 seconds under the spigot. That's done. I pre-rinsed them. Okay, then you put them in a bowl. Then you get a fork. You can also use a blender or a food processor or one of those potato masher things, but I'm poor and I just have a fork, so just mash the heck out of them. This is really good if you're mad at someone. Just get all your frustrations out. Okay, so we're about done mashing. There's a few whole beans in there, but that's okay. We're going for a rustic look. It's the new perfection. So from this point, your basic recipe, you're going to want to add an egg. I like to use a half an onion. I'm not actually going to do that today, but I like to use a half an onion diced up really fine and a whole green bell pepper diced up really fine. You're going to want to really get those nice and small so they don't crumble up when you're actually cooking them. I also like to add about 2 cloves of garlic. You can add more or less depending on your love of garlic. Okay. And this is your basic recipe. You can be done right now if you want with a little salt and pepper. You can be completely done. But I'm actually going to make it an Indian burger. I have a few spices to put in here. I'm going to make it Indian burger. I'm going to put a little bit of cilantro. But I also have, turmeric, cumin, coriander, a little bit of salt, and a little bit of pepper. Put that in there. You can also make an Italian burger. You can add some oregano and some parsley if you wanted. You can make it a Mexican burger and go for cilantro and some chilies and jalapenos or whatnot. So be creative and crazy. Add some breadcrumbs. You don't have to actually go to the store and buy breadcrumbs. I'm going to start with about a cup of breadcrumbs. You can leave out some bread slices for a day or a night or whatnot and then grate them and make your own breadcrumbs. You don't have to buy breadcrumbs. People might be thinking, hey, what about the meat? What about the protein? Good news. Beans or any sort of legume like lentil or beans paired with a grain like what we're doing now, it's complete protein. It's got all your 9 essential amino acids. You don't even need the meat. Look at that. Complete protein right here. You can kind of feel it with your hands. You want a nice consistency. You want, let's see, this ball. A nice patty there. I'm going to add a little bit more breadcrumbs. So we have about a cup and a quarter breadcrumbs there. So use 1 can of black beans, 1 egg, cup and a quarter of breadcrumbs. Alright, that looks good there. Go ahead and start patting them up. Also, good news. 1 can of black beans, this whole recipe, yields about 7 or 8 burgers. So, it's actually cheaper than the dollar menu at McNasty's. It's also healthier than the burgers at McSatan's, too. Alright. Patty those up. Now, you want to make these kind of thin because you do have a raw egg in there, so you want it to cook evenly, and be sure to get through to the egg in the middle too. Okay, so we finished pattying them, but before I actually cook them, I'm going to make a nice kumquat chutney. I think it'll pair well with the savory Indian ingredients in the patties here in the burgers. Kumquats are very sweet. The sweetness lies within the skin, so you don't want to peel them at all. Inside is incredibly tart. So you're just going to chop them up. You can make thin slices. Looks like a beautiful little mini orange. They're delicious. You could just eat it like that, but like I said, I'm going to do a chutney, so I'm going to take them, I'll put them in a bowl. Looks delicious. Okay, I'm also going to add some cilantro. It's about a half a tablespoon, maybe a tablespoon. I'm really bad with measuring. Add some chives. It's about a tablespoon of chives. And add a teaspoon of ginger. Maybe a teaspoon and a half. Ginger. And a few cloves of garlic. So I'm going to add a little bit of olive oil. Just add. And a tiny bit of plum vinegar. Looks good there. Just mix that up. Have our nice chutney that's going to go on top of our veggie burgers. That looks good. You're going to want to start with a high smoke point oil. So this is not an occasion to use olive oil. I know you're disappointed, but I'm using canola oil. Get it a little hot. And when you think your burger will start sizzling, you can put it on. Okay, I think it's ready. It's good and hot now. Oh yeah, listen to that sizzle. Well, the trick to this is you do not want to turn them often. You really only want to turn them once. Let them go for about a minute or two. You want to get them nice and brown, almost black on each side. I promise it's not going to be burned. It's just going to be nice and crispy on the outside, soft on the inside. It's going to be great. Check them, see how they're doing. They need a little bit more time. About time to flip these burgers over. Ooh, that looks good. Want that nice char on the outside. We're going to check on our burgers, see how they're doing. I think they're about ready. Okay, and these burgers are done. I'll take one off. On a plate I have some lightly sauteed peppers and sesame oil. Put some of this kumquat chutney on top. You can serve it with a bun or not. Buns are a little hard to come by in Korea, so if you know where they are, please let me know. Alright. Then you have a lovely dinner. No fast food in sight. It's a beautiful thing.